Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever actually wondered what that little padlock icon is next to a website's address? Well, today we're diving deep into the invisible tech that works like your own personal bodyguard on the internet. We're going to see exactly how it keeps you safe.
Just for a second, think about the last time you bought something online, or maybe a private message you sent to a friend. All that information had to travel from your phone or computer, zip across the world, and land on a server. So what happens during that journey? Is it all sealed up tight, or is it more like sending a postcard that anyone can read along the way?
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. We all love to talk about the cloud like it's some kind of magical floating hard drive in the sky, but it's not. The internet, at its very core, is just a gigantic, physical network of wires connecting your computer to millions and millions of other computers. And that physical reality, that network of computers, creates what I like to call the internet's open secret, a huge built-in security risk that honestly affects every single one of us.
I mean, seriously, imagine writing your credit card number on a postcard and dropping it in the mail. Every single person who touches it, the mail carrier, the people at the sorting facility, they could all just read it. That is exactly what sending information over the internet without protection is like. Your data is just hopping from one computer to the next, completely out in the open.
And look, we're not talking about some abstract idea of data here. We're talking about the keys to your entire digital life and even your physical one. Your bank details, your passwords, where you live, your most private conversations, your photos. All of it is just sitting there, vulnerable.
Okay, but don't go unplugging your Wi-Fi just yet, because there is a solution, a technology that was literally designed to be that digital bodyguard, to take those vulnerable postcards and seal them up in armored envelopes.
And that bodyguard, it's called SSL, which stands for Secure Sockets Layer. At its heart, SSL is a protocol. And that's just the fancy word for a set of rules that basically scrambles or encrypts all the data going between your web browser and a website. This makes it totally unreadable to anyone who might be trying to snoop on it.
Now here's a quick but super important clarification. You'll hear the term SSL thrown around all the time, but the truth is, SSL is actually the old, outdated version from way back in 1995. The modern, much more secure standard we all use today is called TLS, or Transport Layer Security. It's just that the name SSL was so catchy it kind of stuck around. So whenever you hear someone say SSL today, what they really mean is TLS.
So, how can you spot this protection in the wild? It's actually super easy. Just glance up at the website address in your browser. If it starts with HTTP, that's the insecure postcard. But if it starts with HTTPS, well, that S stands for secure. That means you're protected. All right, so how does all this work? How do your browser and a website set up this secure encrypted channel? It all happens in the blink of an eye with a process called the SSL/TLS handshake. And honestly, it's kind of like a secret digital handshake.
It all starts when your browser says hello to the server and tells it all the cool encryption methods it knows. The server says hello back, shows its ID, which is called an SSL certificate, and they both agree on the strongest type of encryption they can both use. Then, your browser creates a brand new, one-time secret code for this specific conversation, uses the server's ID to lock it up, and sends it over. Once they both give the final nod, boom, the secure connection is live.
And hey, this is exactly why you always hear people say you shouldn't use an ancient web browser. Modern browsers, like Chrome or Firefox, know all the latest, strongest encryption handshake moves. If you're using something from a decade ago, it might not know how to do the most secure handshake, leaving you with a weaker, more vulnerable connection. It's such a simple update, but it makes a huge difference.
Security is definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Remember that digital ID we mentioned, the SSL certificate? Well, it has an expiration date. Typically, these certificates have to be renewed every 90 days. This short lifespan is actually a safety feature. It limits the window of opportunity for a bad guy to use a stolen certificate, forcing websites to constantly prove they are who they say they are.
Okay, so what if you're the one running a website? How do you get this kind of protection for your visitors? Well, that brings us to the very practical choice between free and paid security.
So every single secure website out there needs to have one of these SSL certificates. You can think of it like a digital passport. It's what proves to your browser that the website you're visiting is legit and not an imposter, and it's issued by a trusted third party called a certificate authority.
Now, if you're a site owner, you've basically got two main paths.
Free certificates, like the ones from a great service called Let's Encrypt, are amazing. They give you strong, solid encryption, and they're perfect for things like blogs or personal websites. Paid certificates, on the other hand, are really for e-commerce sites or businesses handling super sensitive data, because they often come with extras like big insurance policies if something goes wrong.
But really, the most important thing for any website owner to hear is this: don't get stuck trying to decide. Having free, basic encryption is 1,000,000 times better than having no encryption at all. It works and it protects your users, and that's what really matters.
Phew, okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's just boil all of this down into a super simple, actionable checklist you can use to stay safe online, whether you're just browsing or you're running your own site.
Look, for you as a user, it's dead simple. Always, always look for that HTTPS before you type in a password or credit card number. And please keep your browser updated. For the site owners out there, just get an SSL certificate. Free is great, and set a calendar reminder to renew it on time. These are not complicated steps, but they make a world of difference.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Every single click you make, every form you fill out online is an act of trust. Now that you know what's going on behind that little padlock, you have the power to make much smarter choices about who you give that trust to. Thanks for watching.